Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Cup Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are having a fantastic day wherever you are around the world. And why wouldn't you be? Of course, the big news of today: Mo Salah re-signing his Liverpool contract. Yes, of course, that has been the big news of today, and rightfully so, because look, Mo Salah has re-signed for Liverpool Football Club as well. Like, look, long may the king reign, of course, for Liverpool Football Club and, of course, Mo Salah, because look, he's not going anywhere. And thank the Lord he isn't going to go anywhere. Either, of course, obviously, it did get confirmed pretty much, first thing, wasn't it? It was around, like, what was it, 8 o'clock in the morning. It did get announced. Of course, obviously, we've already done a video on it, but I did want to talk about it a bit more, of course, because look, it is such a huge thing. The fact that, look, Mo Salah has re-signed for Liverpool. It's huge. The fact that we've got this done, and obviously got looks to be Virgil van Dijk also done as well. Again, it's huge intention, intention for the future, and of course, intention, I should say, for the future. And of course, for what we think Liverpool are going to do in the summer transfer window. Again, I think Arne Slot spoke about it earlier. You've now got players that will go, oh, I want to go and play alongside Virgil van Dijk and Mo Salah, where obviously the uncertainty of it has been for a very long time. Are Mo and Virgil going to stay at the football club? And look, now, of course, it looks like they're going to. And look, I'm very happy as well anyway. And of course, let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments down below as well anyway. But we will dive in, of course, to obviously the article pieces and so on as well. Obviously, this is from Liverpool Football Club themselves. Obviously, got on there saying Liverpool FC can announce that Mohamed Salah has signed a new contract that will keep him with the club beyond the 24-25 season. The forward, who is enjoying another stellar campaign for the Reds, has committed his future by putting pen to paper on the deal. So far this term, Salah has scored 32 goals in just 45 appearances in all competitions, 27 of which have come in the Premier League, making him the division's leading marksman. These strikes have been supplemented by a 22 assists for his teammate as well. And today the news means that Salah will extend an 8-year stay at Anfield into the future and continue to help Arne Slot's team challenge for the game's biggest honours. Which, again, great. Of course, he did say on Liverpool.com, an exclusive reaction. Of course, I'm very excited. We have a great team now. Before also we had a great team, but I signed because I think we have a chance to win other trophies, and I enjoy my football. It's great. I have my best years here. I played 8 years, hopefully going to be 10, enjoying my life here, enjoying my football, and I had the best years of my career. I would like to say to the fans, I am very happy to be here. I signed here because I believe that we can win a big trophies together. Keep supporting us, and we'll give it our best. And hopefully in the future, we're going to win more trophies. Of course, that is from Mo Salah himself. Of course, which, look, I think everybody is exciting, isn't it? As well. And look, I think just off the bat, if everybody's watched his reaction to it as well, I think just the sigh of relief that is on Mo's face as well, in terms of, like, it's all like that kind of like relief side of it, where, look, I think it was probably getting to Mo at some point as well throughout the season, and of course, constantly being asked about it, constantly having the conversation around the contract more than what he's doing on the pitch, which on the pitch, he's having an unbelievable season. And of course, that's probably been the biggest talking point of the season for Mo Salah, of course, is the contract situation. And now, of course, that's just one, sigh of relief, because, of course, there are whispers as well. It could be a +1 in the contract. There's no real confirmation on that yet. But again, it does seem that it is a 2-year deal as well, but a little bit of a increase in pay as well, which, look, let's be honest, Mo Salah does deserve as well. But big up Michael as well, saying, hi, do you think these contract extensions redeem Hughes' reputation among the fans? Possibly. judge in the summer. That's all I would say. Anyway, but look, he's managed to get them done, which of course that was the main aim all season, hasn't it? Has been to get contracts resorted and getting them to re-sign. And look, with Trent, of course, there is the exception there because, of course, we all know Trent wants to go to Real Madrid, but still, I look at it and go, he's got the job. He's got the job done, even though it's took him 8 months to do. That look, Virgil's now signed. Mo's signed, of course. Obviously, we're waiting for confirmation on Virg, but we pretty much know Mo Salah and Virgil van Dijk are re-signed now anyway. So look, wait until the summer, see what happens in the summer transfer window, and hopefully see how we fight for the Premier League next season and fight for the Champions League as well next season. Anyway, but look, I'm very much happy. The fact that Mo Salah has re-signed. And just the fact now that we can just focus on winning the Premier League as well, because that is something, once again, look, that's the main talking point. That should only be the main talking point for the rest of the season, is going on to win the Premier League. Of course, we can start talking about, obviously thinking about next season once the league is done. But of course, there's still 4 wins needed to win the Premier League title. And of course, that's the main aim now is to win the Premier League. And of course, get those 4 wins done with it, which hopefully for obviously a win against West Ham on the weekend, which look, that's going to be tough in itself because West Ham are a very, very good team. Of course, we'll have the match preview for that later on. That will be at 9 p.m. as well. So I'll obviously come back a bit later on as well to, of course, get that for you guys as well. But obviously, taking a look then at the Athletics report, and like we said, in terms of just purely because, again, we're speculating it's a 2-year contract, as you guys can see there on screen. Obviously, Mo Salah signed new 2-year Liverpool contract. As it does go on to say, Mohamed Salah has signed a new 2-year deal, a 2-year Liverpool contract. The Athletic reported on Wednesday that Salah and teammate Virgil van Dijk was closing in on a new Liverpool deal. Salah has entered the final months of his contract, but a breakthrough in negotiations was reached, and he is now signed through to 2027. Of course, adding, it's great, I had my best years, like we already mentioned, of course. But look, it's like it says, but there, the Egypt international had previously said he was probably more out than in when he stopped for a rare post-match chat back in November. But of course, now he's more in than out, of course, which is great from Liverpool's media team as well. Anyway, but look, let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments, of course, because I don't think there is any more in the Athletics report anyway. Of course, obviously that was the post, as you guys can see on screen right now. Of course, he's staying more in than out, which again I loved, to be fair. Fair play to Liverpool on that as well, for leaning into that, of course. But yeah, as you can see there, again, the Athletic reported on December 8th that Liverpool had made an opening contract offer to Salah at that stage, despite confidence around Anfield that the 32-year-old would stay. An agreement was not agreed or close, and obviously remained around, uncertainty remained around long-term future. Obviously, he has enjoyed another fine season, scoring 32 goals. And obviously, once his contract is out, it will be 10 years at Liverpool, which again is huge, and it's another landmark, really, for Mo Salah, and really a landmark for Liverpool, to be fair, because the consistent noise, I would say, around Mo Salah at his time at Liverpool has been one of, oh, well, he's going to go in the next few seasons. And the best reaction to anything today that I've seen is Aina, I think it is, from Forest. If you guys have not seen the reaction to it, again, I can't show it because, again, we would get copyrighted for it. But the most funniest thing is where I think they're in the changing rooms at Forest, and it comes on the TV that, again, Mo Salah's re-signed on Sky Sports, and just the reaction to it is brilliant. I absolutely love it. And look, that's probably the reaction to everybody else in the Premier League, because numerous amount of rival fans have said for all season, really, that Mo Salah is going to be leaving. Liverpool are most likely going to re-sign Trent and Van Dijk, and then Mo Salah is going to go to Saudi, or he's going to go to another top European club. and play maybe 1 or 2 years in Europe and then maybe go to the Saudi Pro League. But that's never been the case, and all the indication that we have had, and in terms of just purely down to, again, everything we've known. Mo Salah's wanted to stay at Liverpool. He's been really, not begging, but of course he's been very much under the cosh that, look, he wants to stay at Liverpool. There's nowhere else he wants to be. And now I think when you look at it, it's that case of, look, Liverpool have definitely turned around and of course made that now this is his home, really. And of course there's no other way that, again, Liverpool wanted him to go. And now, of course, it being confirmed and it being done, again, great. Because look, now we can start planning for the future with Mo Salah in that thought process as well, which for me, look, is brilliant as well. Anyway, but what else do we have? Anyway, but Michael says true, but Trent might have been a reason. The reason Hughes couldn't get. The reason why Hughes couldn't get two signed, maybe he was trying to get Trent signed, but he was dragging things along. And when Trent news came out, Hughes got Mo and Virgil, or Mo and Virgil signed up straight away. I think it's a little bit like, because obviously everybody straight away goes for, it's the Gary Neville, not Gary Neville, sorry, it's the Robbie Fowler, it's the Robbie Fowler thing, it's the theory that, both of them have been re-signed for a while, and look, Liverpool have just been hiding it because they don't want to really out Trent, and I can see that, but I also don't at the same time, because why would you do it? And I look at it and go, yeah, probably negotiations has probably taken longer because, of course, you've obviously been trying to sign Mo, Trent, and Virgil. But I look at it and go, well, with Trent, it's that kind of phase where, we have said it since November, December time, that everybody has thought that Trent's going to leave. Probably the club have tried always to get him to re-sign, and they have probably offered him, the world possibly, to get him re-signed. We don't know that yet. Of course, we'll probably know that a bit later on, when, of course, he might go and sign for Real Madrid. But as of things right now, even Mo signing and, Mo re-signing, again, it's been blockbuster news. And it has been, all of today, that's all we've heard is Mo, and there's been stuff coming out, Mo Salah, Mo Salah, Mo Salah. And even Mo Salah coming out and, even this morning, like, that was huge, waking up or even just, looking at your phone and going, oh my God, Mo Salah has re-signed. Like, when I saw it, I was like, wow, like, straight away. First of all, I had to think, like, I've got to do a video. But that was, again, that's the type of reaction you want. And if you're being linked to Liverpool, or if you're being, any part of it, around Liverpool, you've seen the reaction, you've seen on Mo Salah's Instagram post of how, how big this is, because it is big, it's huge. And that, for me, that goes to show the power that Mo Salah has, not only for other things, but just for in general. Mo Salah has huge power within the club. And again, it's not the dictating power like we've seen other teams like Manchester United, for example, where, again, you hear of, player power and this, that, and the other, and obviously that gets a manager sacked. Like Mo Salah, when Mo Salah speaks, everybody listens. And that's the truth, and that's always been the truth. And I think even he said it in the behind the scenes video that they've just released, I think about like 20 minutes ago. He even said it there, I've stayed quiet all season and I've only spoken at times, and when I speak, again, it creates volume, and it does, 100% it does. And him re-signing now, Virgil, you probably think Virgil will get announced Monday, I would think. But even that, like, the fact now you've got your two best players re-signed, for the rest of the boys, that, again, that's a huge confidence boost. as well, and obviously going, and pushing ahead for the rest of the season and giving it everything. Unlike what it was against Fulham, to be fair, anyway. But look, we'll have to wait and see, of course. Anyway, but again, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Of course, obviously there's 10 people in as well. Again, let me know your guys' thoughts on Mo Salah, of course, re-signing for the Reds anyway. But obviously Cal saying hello as well. Big up Cal, big up Luke as well. Hopefully doing well. Hawklaw saying hi. So now we have Salah under contract. Do you see us selling him in a year or letting go for free in 2 years for a service? Letting him go for free. And again, I wouldn't be. Again, we don't know whether or not it's a 3-year deal. Really, I know obviously, like we just brought up the Athletics report. They've said 2 years. I think there might be a third year in there somewhere. But of course, look, I wouldn't sell Mo Salah now. He's going to stay for 10 years. And look, Liverpool over the next 2 years have got need to have the conversation of replacing him, really. And look, we've given them now, or Mo has given them 2 extra years to find the player or find the players to replace him, really, because even next season he's going to be bringing close to 30 goals, or all competitions, or at least goal involvements as well. So they have to find that right player. Obviously, I think if the Powers was still in charge like they are now, I think Liverpool would have signed Michael Elise, in my opinion. But look, that's just my opinion, to be fair. But it's great news. We have done the deal, though. Yeah, absolutely, it is. And it shows intentment. We've said it, like, normally FSG wouldn't bother. Normally this model doesn't give contracts out to 30+ old players, and it doesn't, really. And I look at it and I go, now you go and focus on getting Ibu Kanate done. That's the main aim now. Before the start of the season, next season, go and get Ibu done, because he has 1 year left on his contract. Of course, there's loads of rumours going around at the minute about Dean Heisen, as well. I personally, again, I think Liverpool would absolutely love a player like Dean Heisen, because Heisen, I should say, because again, even though the release clause is £50 million, again, you're signing a player who has world-class potential and is 19, and that's that's a rare thing, really. Where Liverpool in the past have probably maybe not gone for a player like him, and obviously missed out to other teams like United or City or Arsenal in the past, or even Chelsea. And now we're in this position that Liverpool could go all in for him. And what I mean by that is Liverpool, obviously, that we've had conversations with his camp and his representatives. Liverpool could go full charge for him, but then that also probably means that Ibu might be going, as well, which is a problem. Let's be honest. So if we were to get Dean Heisen and keep hold of Ibu Kanate for the next 5 years, again, that would be a brilliant move for Liverpool. But it's now getting him done, really. But of course, that's for the future anyway. But of course, as of things right now, again, be happy that Mo Salah and Virgil van Dijk are done, anyway. Or, of course, Mo Salah is confirmed, but obviously Virgil will be soon anyway. But right, so how much can we sell him for now? Mo, I would not sell him whatsoever. But if you want to put a price on it, 200 million sounds right. To be fair, seamlessly Jones and Bradley have turned down new deals. I would guess money is the issue. I think with Curtis Jones hasn't long signed a new deal, so it's probably just finding out little things. Conor Bradley, I think he'll resign. Obviously, he's going to be Liverpool's number one right back next season, as long as he stays fit, which is it's probably the other sticking point when it does come to Conor Bradley, because he can't stay fit at the minute. Once he does, he'll be by miles, Liverpool's right back. But it's also that question of how do Liverpool go about it now next season, because we've kind of now got that process of how do Liverpool go at it? Do they go and sign a a new out and out right back, and still have Connor Bradley as backup, really? Or do they have backup now for Connor Bradley, who could potentially overtake him? My opinion would be the latter. I think Liverpool are going to sign somebody who has the potential to maybe overtake Connor Bradley and be the new right back for Liverpool. But at the minute, it is going to be Connor Bradley's position, but the quality level's not going to drop off, really, because we've said that over the years, haven't we? Look, Trent has been amazing and Trent's been Trent, but when Connor Bradley's been brought in, the quality level hasn't dipped too much in certain areas. But look, of course, we do need to add more options there, of course. But big up Doug as well. Hope you're doing well. Saying happy Friday, Reds, as well. Yeah, it's a great Friday as well. Maybe it might be a great Saturday as well, depending on what the club want to do. Of course, but still, look, that is the main thing now, isn't it? It's the fact that we don't know what's going to happen. Anyway, of course, and when they're going to announce Virgil van Dijk as well. Anyway, but like I said, I don't think they were hiding it. Trent leaving, I don't think they were hiding it, but Trent leaving, we're trying to get to sign up Trent, but he was dragging Liverpool along, and Hughes decided not to waste more with Trent when the news came out from Spain. I think with Trent, it's nothing's decided, is it really, at the minute? Because he could do a full 180, and he could. He could easily go like, oh, I'm going to re-sign for Liverpool now. And he could. That could very well be the case. But in my opinion, he's gone. Like, because even if he was to stay, there then would be question marks around it. Why now are you staying? There's been no indication of you staying whatsoever. So why now? Why have you changed your mind? And of course, I think the damage is already done with Trent. Not for what he's done on the pitch, because again, what he's done on the pitch, he has become, again, one of, if not the best that we've seen. In that position. And that's something that, again, the way the whole right back scenario has been seen over the last 6-7 years. Again, Trent has changed that. He's changed the model of what teams and obviously people expect now from a right back. And I look at it and go, and obviously people will obviously have different opinions, but we've had players in the past leave for free. Like obviously more recently, look at somebody like a Bobby Firmino, for example. But there's a difference between, and there's context to it. Like Bobby Firmino never wanted to. I think he didn't want to leave Liverpool, but he realized that it was time to move on, because again, Liverpool were going in a different direction. We were going, of course, for more of a striker approach. Obviously, Darwin was breaking through. Cody as well was also there as well. So again, Bobby was maybe second or third choice. And I look at it and go, with Trent, it's different, because he's left on his own accord, and he's also tried to get out, before. And if these reports are even true about, the whole, like, he's had conversations with Madrid, and Madrid have told him to run his contract down, and this, that, and the other. Of course, do I fully blame Trent for that? No, because again, the whole sporting director situation has been a mess, over the last couple of seasons, and it has been. But in also saying that, I also do blame Trent, because instead of just being straight and being vocal around it, it seems like Trent has done the snake move around it, where again, Liverpool have been working very hard to get him to re-sign, and he's just rejected everything. And of course, Liverpool, by the looks of it, have just gone, okay, well, you're not going to re-sign, and everybody expects now Trent to leave, really. And I look at that, and for me personally, that for me is a problem when it comes to Trent. And when we talk about legend status, for what he's done on the pitch, yeah, like you could classify Trent as a legend, but I think just the way he's left the club, again, I honestly would not put him in that category because of the way he's left. Myself anyway, because you look at Kevin De Bruyne. Look at Kevin De Bruyne now. Like he's come out and said, look, I'm going to leave at the end of the season. Trent could do the same now, and we could move on. And look, that's something for me that again, screams volumes, really. But thoughts on Mo Salah being vice captain now? Yes, he will be vice captain next season for sure. Is Paddy the Baddie going to win this weekend? He's facing Michael Chandler, isn't he? Yes, I think he'll win. I think he'll win by. I think he'll win by submission. I think he'll win by submission this weekend. But look, if he calls Trent a lizard again in the octagon, then look, who knows what will happen anyway. But look, obviously the main focal point is Mo Salah, obviously re-signing, and look, long may the king reign. Anyway, because look, for me, he is like the only player in Liverpool's history, or the only players, I should say, that Liverpool is, it's probably Kenny and Stevie, I would say, and then there's Mo, possibly. Again, obviously there's loads of Liverpool legends that obviously people may have higher on the list, but I would say Mo Salah is definitely in the top 5 of Liverpool legends for sure. Virgil van Dijk's also in that list potentially as well now, because again, obviously he's going to stay, and of course Virgil's Virgil. But I look at it and go, you could very well see them in the list. But I think in terms of Premier League, I think the only person you could argue is obviously Steven Gerrard, and obviously people will now go, oh well, Steven Gerrard only won he won a European Cup, he obviously won an FA Cup, obviously didn't win a Premier League. Mo Salah's about to win 2, and okay, that's a fair argument. But the one thing I would also say is if Steven Gerrard was in this Liverpool team, Liverpool would dominate the Premier League, and we would, and I think that's an easy thing to say, really. I think Steven Gerrard, imagine Steven Gerrard and Mo Salah in the same team. Like, wow, like that would be frightening as well. But look, Steven Gerrard could have gone to anywhere, and he would have won everything in football, and that's the thing that, again, I think many rival fans also kind of forget about. Like with Steven Gerrard, it wasn't just like, oh, Jose Mourinho wanted him once or twice. Like everybody wanted him. Barcelona wanted him, Real Madrid wanted him, Inter Milan wanted him, United, Chelsea. Like again, these teams wanted Steven Gerrard, and Steven Gerrard said no. Okay, yeah, he did have his head turned by Chelsea at one point, but again, he stayed at Liverpool, and again, like he said, it's more special winning 1 or 2 trophies at Liverpool than many at another club. And that's like, well, with Mo, Mo has been very vocal in terms of, again, this is his home. And look, for me, I think, like he said, there's a possibility Liverpool can win, big things with this team. And obviously, his relationship now with Arne Slot, he's confident that Liverpool can win things. And if he's confident, then everyone else should feel confident that Liverpool are going to win things for the future as well anyway. But look, again, just mainly Mo Salah re-signing a new contract. Again, it's brilliant news, isn't it? And a really good vibe now for the weekend, for sure anyway. But Chandler is tough, though. He is tough, to be fair. It's been a good value team for a while. Can't argue that. We've had a lot of use out of Salah since he's always fit. Yeah, absolutely. Like again, but you look at this season. Liverpool's like this season. Mo Salah has scored, or Liverpool. He's been involved in 70+% of Liverpool's goals in all competitions. Like that's mental. And I look at that, and for me, he is up there with the best, and he's in that conversation in Premier League history as well. It's not only just Liverpool history. We've got to talk about history in itself, because Mo Salah, again, the numbers are unreal, and people will go, oh, well, what is he if you take away the goals and assists? That's such a stupid argument. Like, genuinely, such a stupid argument. Mo Salah is in the conversation for being a part of the best players in Premier League history. He's in the best Premier League team ever, in my opinion. He's on that right-hand side, nailed down, because he's about to win 2 Premier League titles, and he could get into the top 3 in terms of goal scorers as well, over the next 2 years. And he could do, if he's going to maintain this level, or maintain the level he has kept. Mo Salah is gonna be up there, in terms of second or third. Maybe he'll need the extra year, if he was to continue with the same, obviously the ratio of goals in obviously taking over Alan Shearer. Obviously, is there a possibility? Now it is, absolutely. But look, of course, I'm just happy that Mo Salah is here to stay. Anyway, but look, I am going to leave it there for tonight, guys. We are back live later on. Of course, we are live at 9 p.m. for the West Ham preview. Of course, we may talk more about this. Of course, we may talk. There is any bits of other pieces of news, of course, because obviously there's Dean Heisen news. There's other bits and pieces as well. Anyway, but still, look, Mo Salah re-signed. Well, obviously got signed his new contract with the football club. I'm very happy. Hopefully, you guys are as well. And look, long may the king reign at Liverpool at Anfield as well. So the Egyptian king has re-signed for Liverpool for another 2 years at least anyway. But look, hopefully you guys have a fantastic rest of your days. I'll see you later on for the match preview show for West Ham. And yeah, I'll see you guys in a bit. Ta-ra.